moving on now, the UK has been battered by severe weather and heavy rainfall in recent months, with many finding their homes and their businesses very seriously damaged or destroyed by floodwater.
Well, we can speak now to Andy Goodall, whose pub, the Rose and Crown in Sevenoaks, Lincolnshire, has been flooded 3 times in 12 months. Andy, thank you so much for talking to us. Just, set the scene for us. What happened this time round?
Well, good morning, Rosie. Good morning, David. The water levels just came in so quick this time. Within a couple of hours, the water's travelled from the River Severn, probably about 3/4 of a mile from down the lane. And within 2 hours, it's hit the front door. Fortunately for us, we actually already put our defences up in October the 22nd. So we didn't have an awful lot to do. It was just mainly locking up the front door, as you can see on the video there, and putting the pumps into action.
I just feel so sorry for you, and it just feels so relentless. I was flooded myself, not to that extent, but you feel a real sense of desperation and decimation, don't you?
Yeah, it's really, really tough. For us, I mean, we're only a small community here in Sevenoaks. It is good. We have got a great community spirit, and we're all making sure everybody's okay. We're keeping in touch with each other. We've got a little WhatsApp group going on. But yeah, we're just getting a little bit fed up with it now. I mean, we're being promised from the environmental agency that this scheme would have been finished at Christmas 2023. And we've not even started it yet. They've moved a bit of soil, getting ready for the bunds, but it's just a long way off the whole scheme.
Because sadly, Andy, your recovery from flooding is becoming a bit of a well-oiled machine.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've become more flood resistant. I'm never going to stop the water getting into the property. We know that. But by doing the membrane on the outside, the damp-proof membrane, we wrap the whole pub, and then we sandbag it. Because it's a 500-year-old building, timber frame, so you're going to spring a lot of leaks everywhere. But yeah.
And just in terms of grants that are available, how easy is it to access government money to recoup your losses, for example, to replace furniture, to provide damp proofing or whatever you need to do, flood defences and so on, and lost trade?
Yeah, there's nothing there. In 2021, when we flooded then, I mean, COVID was on then, so there was, we did get some support from the government, but we've had nothing since. There is a flood recovery grant, which I found out about yesterday for the last storm we had. It's approximately £2,500. But that £2,500 doesn't pay for the skip, the damp-proof membrane, and, I mean, they support us with the sandbags, which is great. But loss of trades, you're probably losing £20,000 a week. The amount of food I've lost, it just adds up, especially at this time of the year, going into January, the quieter season. I've got staff with mortgages and rent to pay, and it's a worry. It's a worry on how we're going to, support these people.
Yeah, of course, of course. I mean, it's been amazing to see how you've kind of just taken this on in pretty good faith, really. I mean, looking at those videos of you smiling throughout this, I guess, what questions are you asking about how financially viable it is for your business to stay open if this keeps happening?
I mean, the Rose and Crown Sevenoaks, we won Marston's Great British Pub of the Year this year. We've been extremely busy, and that's what keeps us going. The fact that we know that in the spring things will pick up, we'll have a busy summer. The staff are absolutely wonderful in the work that they carry out for us. But it just keeps you going because you're as a local employer, these people need jobs, especially in the current crisis that we're in.
And it's great to hear your pub is doing so well. There are many establishments around the country that aren't doing as well. We're seeing record numbers of pubs closing on a weekly basis. The fabric of Britain, I think, being ripped away. What advice would you give to other landlords?
It's hard work. I mean, we're currently trying to buck the trend, and we're trying to go the other way. My business partner runs the King's Head in Worcester, and we've just taken over another pub, the Cock and Magpie at Bewdley, which is also next to the river. So there seems to be a bit of a theme going on here. We like water. Yeah, you've got to get stuck into the hard work, the graft, and set the business up. I mean, the Rose and Crown has a great business module. And if we can pick this up and move it to these other pubs. And then fingers crossed, we're employing more local people, and we're going to try and help them through this hardship.
Well, we raise a glass to you, Andy. Thank you so much for talking to us, and best of luck with for the third time this year, the clean-up operations. Thank you so much for giving us a bit of an insight into what you're battling with.